70 weeks. That is how long it's been since I posted my first video on this channel and decided to go all in on my main channel. I've seen growth, I've seen amazing results, burnout, and everything in between. And this last 2 months has been the longest I've ever taken a break from this channel. Okay, so it was 52 days. However, it's close enough to 60 to say it's been 2 months. So tonight I wanted to just grab a cup of coffee and sit down and talk to you all about what happens when you lose your momentum on YouTube for whatever reason, but how you also get it back. Because if you've fallen off your schedule or just found it hard to post content, or even started overthinking everything like me, you are not alone. And this video right here is for you. So let's talk about why I fell off. And it comes down to really two things: time and overthinking. So honestly, over the past month of October, I was busy with Vlogtober. And before that, kind of just busy with my main job. I am a teacher. If you are new to this channel, I am a teacher. I'm a department chair. And so I've kind of had a lot on my plate, and we've had a lot of new things thrown at us this year that has required me to work a lot of time after hours. And so that cut into my personal time to really pour into my main channel and this channel. And then, like I said, I did Vlogtober on my main channel. So that's posting new content every single day for 31 days. And I sort of kind of was able to do it. That will be in another video kind of talking about my experience with that. But that made it really hard for me to show up on this channel, to come up with long form content and ideas, and really figuring out how to manage both channels seemed really hard. The second reason, like I said, I was overthinking everything. So I literally just got bogged down with my own thoughts, and it made it hard to really come on this platform, come on this channel specifically, and really put all of that into a video and make it make sense. So before I posted the last couple of videos I posted on this channel, I really started thinking, and I was like, I really want to make sure I'm adding value. And that adding value really tripped me up and made me overthink how I was showing up, made me overthink my content, made me start looking at other people's content and being like, well, this is how they're adding value, so I need to be adding value like that, because I felt like what I was presenting wasn't enough. And then I got a comment about how maybe I wasn't growing because I was presenting my videos in a certain way, which made sense. But then it sent me on this spiral, and I really started just overthinking everything and thinking that, my content wasn't good enough. What I was doing wasn't enough because it wasn't adding value. So I just went on this spiral of how to show up in the perfect way, how to add value in the perfect way. And it really wasn't that serious. And the answer was really so much simpler than what I made it. So I want to share that with you all. In this break, in this time off, in all of my thoughts being put to pen and paper and thrown into ChatGPT to make sense, and really trying to figure out where I was going with this channel, I realized the answer was so much simpler than what I was making it. And it boiled back down to that word that got me so tripped up before, which was value. And I realized that it is not about how I add value, it's that I'm just adding value. I got so hung up on how to add value that I simply could not show up and do the thing of adding value. So something that really stopped me from feeling like I had a value to add was that I felt like I needed to be an expert. Like, nobody wants to hear from me if I'm not an expert. And posting videos and titling them felt like I had to title it in a way that showed that I was an expert to draw people in. And I got stuck because I was like, I'm not an expert, so I don't want to add value in that way. I can't add value in that way. And so then I thought, well, then how am I adding value? Like, how are you valuable? And I realized as I continued to think about this is that you don't have to be an expert to add value. And it seems so simple, but that is where I just got stuck because I was like, I'm not adding value. I'm not adding value. You don't have to just be teaching something to be valuable or to add value. If you are helping someone, if you are teaching someone, if you are encouraging someone, or simply just making them feel seen, that is adding value. And that's what my journey started out as being, was just sharing what I'm learning, sharing the highs and the lows, and letting someone else know I see you because I'm there and I want to keep encouraging you to keep going because I'm going to keep going and it's going to get better. And so something I had to get really okay with was realizing that my value was in my journey. And that's what I wanted from the beginning, was to share my journey of trying to monetize a vlog channel, trying to go against the grain, trying to do something that was not the norm, because most people tell you to niche down, to grow, and then you can branch off and do whatever you want. And I was determined, and I'm still determined, that I'm going to grow my channel in a way that feels authentic to me and what I want to present. And that's where my value is. My value is in my journey. Not pretending like I have it all figured out and I'm some expert and have all these tips and advice to give. Do I have tips? Yes, but the tips are based on my journey, my experiences, and what I have figured out at the point that I am at. And so that's simply why I fell off, but also the realization that I had to come back to in order to get back in a groove. And so that is one of the ways that I figured out how to come back, how I got the momentum to come back. So if you've kind of hit this like plateau or this wall where you're struggling with what to post, how to post, and you're even struggling with like getting back into the groove of posting, go back to your why. That's literally what I did when I got stuck with that word value. I went back to my why and I'm like, I posted because I wanted to share the journey. And that is where my value lies. So the first thing I did to get out of my rut was go back to my why. The second thing I did is what I'm doing right now. I started off with a simple, slow, easy video to get me back in the momentum. And it's not that I haven't been editing. You guys, I have edited 20 plus videos this past month. So editing was not my problem. Sitting down and getting over that mental block was my problem. So I decided to ease back into my videos with something simple, low effort, like there's not a lot of pressure to this video. It is a chit chat. It is sharing experience and adding value. And then stop waiting for the perfect time or idea. That was something else that held me back. Was like, okay, well, I can't post on this day because, this is what my schedule says, or, I didn't have this particular video ready, so I can't, no. Just post. Just hop on here, just share, post, and go. That is something I learned, especially from my LTK challenge that I completed, was that I simply just need to show up. Show up as my authentic self and offer what I have authentically and not worry so much about the rest. So if you've been kind of stuck and just kind of like in a rut, those are some things that helped me get out of this rut and push forward. So if I would leave you with anything to take away from this chat, it would be, one, that value looks different for everyone. So whatever your value is, present that. Whether it is being a resource and an expert in a field or just sharing the journey, sharing your experiences, that is your value. So share it. Two is sometimes the simpler videos perform better, you guys. Some of my best videos on this channel have been my most simple videos I've ever put out. And that's because I think I was able to allow my personality and just my genuine, authentic self shine through those videos and not rely on the fancy editing. Three is and this might be a little bit more personal for me, but to be a content creator and not an influencer. I think that is where I kind of got tripped up, is because I tried to be an influencer, which was not authentic to me, instead of a content creator, which is about sharing my journey. So if you were like me and you are about sharing the journey, sharing lessons, but not from an expert lens, then that tip is definitely for you and me. And the last one is kind of like a twofold. Growth happens in seasons, and there's some seasons where you need to rest. So this season, away from all the hard thinking and planning and auditing, I needed that time away so that I could come back stronger and be able to grow my channel. And there is a book that I'm thinking about reading because I keep hearing about this book like over and over, and I feel like it's just a sign that I need to read it. Although I've been trying to move away from personal development books, The Dip. I watched a video about it. I've heard a bunch of creators talking about it, and it keeps coming up. So if you've read it, comment down below. Let me know. Let me know if I should read it. It's like $9.99 on audio on it's like $9.99 on Audible is what I'm trying to say. So I might get it on Audible or just might download it as a regular book. I'm not sure. Let me know if you've read it and I should read it. But I feel like that's where I'm at, and that's why it was so hard to keep going, because I needed to understand this season that I'm in. And so growth happens in waves and in seasons, and this might have just been the season to rest and recalibrate and get back together. So for the month of November, I'm easing back into my channel with simple videos. I actually have planned to do a 3-month review of Opus Clips. As you know, I've talked about it. I talked about I was going to share my experience, and I've now had it. I'm in my 3rd month, and I really just wanted to use up my credits and get my time in with it so I could share my experience. Nothing too crazy, just my personal experience from, a small creator's perspective. I'm also going to give you tips for Vlogmas and show you how I'm preparing for Vlogmas. And then I'm going to do a quick audit, show you where my channels are at, and show you how my channel did during Vlogtober. I just want to make sure that I am bringing videos to you all that is helping you grow your channel, helping you keep your momentum up, helping you stay encouraged and motivated while I'm still learning and growing as well. So if you're like me and you've fallen off and taken a break and you're just trying to get back into a groove and a routine, I hope this video just reminded you that it's okay to start again, that it's okay to start messy, start slow, just start. And I definitely want to hear how y'all's year is going on YouTube, so drop some comments down below. Let me know how your year's going. I'd love to know how you're feeling as you're going into the end of this year. What are your plans for next year? What are your goals? It's that time of year where we're about to start wrapping up, talking about our goals, recapping our years, and just looking and reflecting on our year. And I'm super excited about that. I love that. This is like my favorite time of year. So yeah, let me know down in the comments how you all are doing on your channels. How's everything going? I love to hear about everybody's growth. It just really excites me. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.